we're in the North Greenhouse. It's Monday, May 3rd at about 10 a.m. And you can see that what we're reading here is the sun levels of the outdoor weather station. And again, I'm going to try to show you, but the weather station is on the roof outside the greenhouse. So when you see the little anemometer, that's the spinning thing that's measuring wind speed. And you see the little arrow pointer that's measuring wind direction. But also up there is a little sensor, much like some of the sensors we have here. So if you were noticing, it's a very cloudy day. It was about 500 micromoles or thereabouts outside at 10 o'clock today. But now we're going to look at some of these same readings in the greenhouse. We're at the area on the first bench of the north greenhouse. So again, we're closest to the wall. There's a lot of potential shading where we are, but I do want to measure or show you this little sensor here is also measuring in micromoles per meter squared per second. So again, outdoor over 500, indoor in one of the darker, shadier corners of the greenhouse, it's only 113. And again, when we go over to our our foot candle meter, it's more for human vision, and that one's reading around 1,000. So again, important to remember, you would need to take these two sensors, have them near each other, multiply this 110 times 5, and again, you're going to get it a little lower than what you would see with this for a couple reasons, but for now, just remember it's okay to use that quick calculation times 5. Over here is a slightly different light meter. Here you might see that you're closer to, you can use the upper dial where we are, and now we're closer to that times 5 in that it's closer to 500 there. You'll also notice it goes up and down a little bit. Every time a cloud goes over or the cloud gets thicker or thinner, it changes dramatically. But the other thing I always like you guys to remember, we talked a lot about how light changes, and I'm going to kind of move this light meter and put it underneath some plants. Okay, so there's our light sensor. We're under a little bit of flowers and some of the begonias here, and the light level right away, slightly different under the canopy. This is not a super thick canopy, but we've really reduced the light level by at least half. So again, the outdoor conditions are about 5 times higher, and the indoor conditions can vary tremendously, both where you are in the greenhouse and whether you're at the top of the plant canopy, which we'll always talk about. Okay, so here, the reading way up at the top of this particular begonia canopy, okay? And then remember, you'll get variability as well across where you are in the greenhouse. There are brighter areas and darker areas overall, mostly with our area to the east or towards the parking lot being brighter overall than this area. So it's a little subtle, but we've played this game a little bit that at both the south and the north greenhouses, we'll put things like coleus, which tolerate a fair amount of shade, and begonia, which tolerate at least half sun. We put them more on the side where there is lower light. As we go further towards the petunias and the geraniums, we do like them in the area that's higher light. So just right now, we're going to take our sensor and go look at the other side of the greenhouse, and I'm going to kind of walk along with it. You can kind of see it changing. We are going up as we go towards the back side of the greenhouse. Not tremendously, but a little bit. So I always like you to see there are places where there's more light and less light. We have gone up, and then again, I'm just going to put it down so I get it kind of horizontal at the canopy level. Here we'll talk about top of the canopy in this area, okay? So I'll give you the reading as I do that. Sorry about this, a little hard to hold everything. Okay, so over here in the other part of the greenhouse, bright light, put this down. Okay. So we're going to try to aim it where we get bright light. Well, we might get as bright as 150 or so at the top of the canopy. Okay. So again, Just remember there's so many variables in this total light level. Are you at the top of the canopy? Are you deep underneath where the far red might be stronger and that might want the plant to stretch? Are you at the area of the greenhouse that has more or less structural shading? All those things can make a difference for greenhouse light. Okay?